We're talking about turning points here tonight, and the thought arises, what about the turning points that can only be seen in retrospect? We take no notice of them while they're happening, but years later the contrast is stark. For example, based on today's standards and practices, it's amazing we survived childhood. Compared to the current generation of precious little snowflakes that need safe spaces and play dates made for them, we were fearless when we were kids. Remember summertime? You left the house right after breakfast. Maybe Mom said,
"Where are you going?"
"Out."
"Okay, just be home by supper."
Out. That was all the explanation that was needed. And we would be out all day, getting into who knew what mischief. As marauding gangs of neighborhood 8-year-olds, we took our lives in our hands daily and survived. We put a penny on the railroad tracks and then waited nearby to see if the train would flatten it or derail. We carried matches and lit things to see if they would burn. One time I started a fire inside a dead, hollowed-out tree. Suddenly it was out of control, and I exhausted myself running to a nearby brook endlessly to fetch water in an empty Coke bottle in order to put it out. I was 4.5 years old. If we got a mosquito bite, we scratched it until it bled, even though our moms told us not to. And after it scabbed over, we picked at the scab.
Don't pick it, it'll get infected.
It never did. We went swimming right after lunch.
Wait an hour before you go in, or you'll get horrible cramps and drown.
We never did. We climbed to the absolute top of the tallest tree. "Hey, Ma, look at me!" We were fascinated by nature. We came home with frogs, toads, salamanders, snapping turtles, snakes even, and anything else we could catch.
Empty your pockets before you come in this house.
We'd climb onto the garage roof. "Hey, Ma, look at me!" In vacant lots, dotted with rusty nails and broken glass, we played tackle football without equipment.
Take those clothes off outside or get right into the back. Are you bleeding?
It was only a flesh wound. We'd ride our bikes for blocks with friends sitting on the handlebars or without holding on to the handlebars. I'm okay. In winter, we hitched rides by holding onto the bumper of a car and sliding on our street shoes on the snow-packed street and threw snowballs indiscriminately. Oops. We investigated old sheds, which, in the pristine logic of an 8-year-old, nobody owned. "Hey guys, when do you see what's in here?" We went out in the midday sun without sunscreen. Tall for my age, I once started the family car and backed it a few feet down the driveway before chickening out.
Who moved this car?
We raided local housing construction sites and liberated enough lumber and nails to build a tree fort 20 feet off the ground.
Yes, it's neat. But where did you get the wood?
Billy's dad gave it to us. And we jumped off a 2-story wall into a giant sand pit a few times before we left that construction site. We rode our bikes on treks to towns our parents had never even visited.
Where are we?
I don't know, but we better start back. I have to be home by supper. And as long as we were, nobody ever knew. Miss Sarah Appleyard.